Chapter 110, Another Pro Coming to Contest. As someone that specialized in poker cards, Mike did have impressive skills that included card-catching abilities, which were the result of his keen eyes and fast reflexes. In the world of gambling, he was the top master when it came to grabbing 4 of the biggest cards from a deck of cards falling from the sky. In this area, if he said he was second place, no one would have the confidence to call first. Whether it was grabbing 4 cards of the smallest value or the largest value, no one had ever beat him before. His ultimate record was being able to grab 3 aces from scattered cards falling from above. As for 4 aces, he had never been able to pull it off. However, in his mind, no one would be able to pull it off. As someone that had been practicing this trick for ages, he knew it was extremely difficult for someone to throw the cards into the air, and then be able to locate 4 aces with the naked eye as the cards fell down. Then, from locating the cards to jumping up and extending their arm to grab it, it would take at least a few seconds. From the brief moment of the cards falling, it was obviously near impossible to successfully catch 4 specific cards. Hearing that Su Cheng would be competing with Mike in card catching, Master Qin smiled, and he said to the surrounding spectators that were joining in on the show, "Someone's actually going to challenge Mike in card grabbing?" Did everyone hear that? I still remember the last time back in Las Vegas when Mike humiliated his challenger by grabbing 3 aces. I very much look forward to seeing this ultimate performance again today. The spectators immediately moved back to leave enough room for the two. However, it seemed like no one was rooting for Su Cheng, since most haven't even heard of him. Mike took out the cards and extended them to Su Cheng. "Wanna check the cards? Don't say that I use magnets or something after you lose." Su Cheng's hands remained in his pocket as he said, "It's fine, just throw it." Mike suddenly threw a deck of cards high into the sky, and everyone immediately held their breaths as they waited for the performance to unfold. Huaxia. 54 cards fell slowly from the sky, but at that moment, Su Cheng didn't move. He just calmly looked at Mike. In fact, all the cards in the air had already been locked on by him, and as for how far the 4 aces were from him and at what speed they were falling, he had already calculated them all as well. Suddenly, Mike moved. He projected himself into the air, and Su Cheng also moved. He first grabbed the ace of spades that was right above his head, and then when he saw Mike was reaching for the ace of hearts, Su Cheng gently caught a random card between his index and middle fingers and flicked it out. That card immediately flew towards the ace that Mike was trying to get like a dart, knocking it to change its path and fly towards Su Cheng instead. Upon grabbing the ace of hearts as well, both of them landed. Then, Mike located the other 2 aces and jumped up again. Just when he almost got his hand on the ace of diamond, he suddenly felt like a hand flashed past him. His eyes became dizzy for a moment, but he still managed to grab the card that he had his eyes on, thinking it was still the ace he saw. Then, right before landing when he wanted to grab the last ace, he suddenly felt a solid kick on his stomach. Then, his entire body flew out as he rubbed against the floor for over a dozen meters before finally coming to a stop. When all the cards landed on the floor, Su Cheng stood in place, shrugging his shoulder to get some cards off of him. Mike felt like something was stuck in his throat, and he almost coughed up a mouthful of blood. He was first stunned, and then when he angrily flipped over the only card he managed to grab, it actually turned out to be the smallest one, a 2. On the other hand, in Su Cheng's hand lied 4 aces neatly stacked like a fan, completely humiliating Mike in front of everyone. The scene immediately burst into thunderous applause, and the technicians working the command center that saw the surveillance footage all exclaimed, "Holy crap, how did Captain Su do it? I told you, Captain Su's not simple at all. You guys should watch the footage of him taking on over 50 Northgate gangsters. Holy, he just stood there and roared once, and those guys were already pissing their pants." "You lost," Su Cheng nonchalantly looked at Mike and said. "You." Mike finally couldn't hold back the blood that was up to his throat, and it spurted out the moment he tried to talk. Su Cheng gracefully threw the 4 aces away and said to Mike, "I don't need you to quit your profession forever, but you did lose, so please leave this casino." One professional gone meant that Shen Yao would have less of a chance of going up against them and getting sniped by them. After all, Su Cheng came in here with a purpose. Mike felt the gazes around him and an unprecedented feeling of humiliation. But, he did lose, and Master Qin got a bit anxious. "Mr. Mike, this guy must have cheated." Mike glared right back at him. "I pulled out that deck of cards, and if someone was cheating, then it could only be me. I lost, and I will accept the defeat." Then, he gave one last look at Su Cheng. I remember you now. Hope you can come to Las Vegas in the future. I will wait for you. Then, Mike got his jacket and directly left the casino. Master Qin was getting nervous. Today, he invited these professionals to help out and make sure that the money laundering business runs smoothly, preventing outsiders from winning the money that was meant to be laundered to their clients. However, one of the top masters he paid for already left, so how could he not be nervous? Suddenly, Master Qin felt that the biggest threat today would probably be Su Cheng, so he knew he must get him to leave. He still remembered how Su Cheng managed to turn 100 into 100,000 in half an hour last time. If that occasion was just luck, then what happened today was basically telling everyone, besides being a police officer, he was also a gambling pro. So, he must not let Su Cheng get involved in today's games. Furious from embarrassment, Master Qin immediately had 8 bodyguards surround him and said, Officer Su, if you have no other business here, then can you leave? You already saw what's going on here, and if you continue to stay, then don't blame me if I expose to the media that you, as a police officer, are involved in gambling. Su Cheng smiled, picked up his wine glass, and said, Don't be so nervous, I'm just here on a stroll since it's so lively here. What, a legally operating casino would turn away customers from gambling? Then you might as well just close it down. Master Qin came closer to him, deepened his voice, and asked, What do you really want? You can't understand human words? I told you, I'm just here on a stroll. Don't be so nervous. Master Qin, how much do you want? Just tell me. Su Cheng laughed. You think that if I want money, then just like what happened that night, your pros at the casino could stop me. Master Qin, you. Very well, if you don't leave, that's okay too. But, if you dare to gamble, then I will report you to your higher-ups. Mr. Su, that performance just now, card catching, it really shocked me. However, are you familiar with dice? I want to challenge you. At this moment, Qunyi Janai from Wei Nation came over and said. Another pro? Su Cheng smiled in his heart, but on the surface, he appeared really calm. Seeing Qunyi Janai coming, Master Qin immediately saw hope as he went over and whispered to him, Mr. Qunyi, please beat him and make him leave. Rest assured, no one will mess today's plan up.